Oh, hi everybody. Welcome to the stream. We're gonna have a good one. It's gonna be great. And I love all of you. Just making sure all my stuff works. It totally does. Excellent. So, I'm gonna be smashing up some towers, using the team that I showed in my preview video, and just chatting with all you fine, beautiful, sexy people. I think that's a good plan for tonight. Let's just make that bigger. Updated my overlay. Hey, what's up, Cord? In there right from the jump. Just, things are going good, I think. I thought I was gonna fall asleep today, honestly. As I was taking my train home today, I was all sorts of falling asleep, and then I magically got a second wind and I'm alive. And it was all because of you guys, in all honesty. Wanted to make sure I was getting a stream in at some point, so I'm not just doing like one a week kind of thing. I'm actually running this with Tidehunter right now as a class. Not because it makes any sense, but just because I want to keep leveling it up. And I haven't died yet, so that's all I need to keep doing it. It's kind of funny, actually. It's kind of, I'll be playing the team and I'll be wondering, like, why the hell did I just take some damage? And then I'll remember that I'm playing it as Tidehunter. For reasons. And I always have to remember what Sekma actually does, because she's a troop that I generally never use, even though she's actually very good. So it's kind of like, I don't have the muscle memory on like what her colors actually match. I think I'm getting better at it now that I've run the team for a little bit. That's awesome, man. I really appreciate you saying that. I'm glad the videos actually do something for people, besides just make me laugh at myself. Yeah, I realized I haven't made like an actual class guide in a bit, so I think that's next up on the docket. I have to make me some guides. I'm pretty sure Bard class makes the most sense to do next, just purely because it's one of the classes that I have leveled up high enough. And granted, the Bard class isn't amazing or anything, but I can at least talk through like how it's a good starting class, like some troops that go well with it, all that kind of stuff. So I owe everybody a video. I'll make sure to get that class guide out there. Whether it's going to be for Bard or not, I don't know, but to me that's the most obvious, like, next one I should do. But open to suggestions. If folks want to see a specific class talked about before that, I am all ears. See, not having barriers makes this a lot more tricky, because like normally I would just take this and be happy that they would take the skull, but since I don't have barriers, I gotta be a little more discerning about what mana I pick. This is also probably a pretty good sign that my my reign of using Tidehunter as a class right now is not going to survive. Whoa, I almost died right there. I haven't even had a chance to do my thing yet. Alright. I'm safe. Oh man, this fight is just like straight up trying to make me die. Why are they trying to hurt me like this? It's so rude. Yeah, this is gonna be the fight that gets me to switch off. That's not cool at all. You see, now you gotta go ahead and do that. I'm gonna win this fight anyway. That's my plan. Alright, so let's just get some stats going. And Rune Priest isn't just for dwarves. Like, Rune Priest has value anyway because it has access to the stone tree, which is pretty good. The problem with the class is kind of like, there's better classes at being defensive. Like, if you were trying to just be defensive, like Sentinel exists, which is better, and then Titan is also better just because it gets the 50% mana start, which the Rune Priest doesn't. But one of the benefits of like Rune Priest, for instance, is that you get access to the Guardian tree, which is normally not super noteworthy, but in PvP it might be, just because it gets access to Banishment, which will really help you with life and death teams. So like there is merit to the Rune Priest class, but in general, like as a day-to-day use kind of class, like it's not nearly as effective as Titan or Sentinel would be, I think. But I could totally do that. If there is desire for it, I shall do it. I don't know why I'm trying to win this so badly, honestly, but I just feel compelled that I have to win this one before I switch off my class. Just to prove that I can. No. Yes. Alright. Super sketchy Sekma cast, go! I mean, it wasn't the worst. It's kind of funny, actually. Sometimes when you're playing, it makes no rhyme or reason why certain things happen. Like, you'll have a certain storm and then nothing but other kinds of things start dropping. I just stopped trying to make sense of it all. I can take one skull hit. Alright. So we're gonna lose Gimlet, but we have Sekma. She's doing 48 damage plus skulls. So if I just play this a little right, I'm gonna not lose the bird and win. Okay, that was way more stuff than I was hoping was gonna happen right there. 50 damage with another 50. Nope, can't do it. I need one more skull and then we're in the good spot. That's good. No! No! Stop it! I needed that there. Bastard. Now I have to really work at this. That's... No, no. Totally gonna do this, though. I'm not giving up. I want to keep blues out there. This is fine. Oh, it's so close. Do I just, like, gamble on a random skull there? I don't think I do. Alright, we're good. Eat it, bird. Yeah! Oh, yeah! That's right. Alright, now I'll switch classes, because I can't do that again. Can't be losing birds. Wall of bones. It's those kinds of games that keep you on your toes, you know? It's like keeps the skills fresh. Sometimes you gotta scrap out a win. And I refuse to give up because I'm a wildly stubborn human being. So one thing that's dangerous about this team that I'll just mention is that, like, whenever you're using an exploder like Divinia in this scenario, so like Divinia is amazing for the cleansing that she brings, but she's also kind of scary because she's exploding. So like it's kind of something that you should generally not be doing unless you have barrier running. So like as a general tip, I would say don't cast Divinia unless you've already got a barrier up or like you're feeling pretty safe. Those are like the ideal times to be casting it. Not to say you won't ever cast it for other reasons, but that's just kind of like the best times to cast it, I should say. Yeah, and the sweat pours working. Easy floor, just one. Oh, and it's the pirates. All them mighty pirates. I don't know if I've ever lost to this one, but I always feel like I'm about to. Like sometimes when I fight this team, I'm just kind of like... I'm not able to get the gems that I want, and then next thing I know, I'm suddenly dealing with like a bunch of attack damage out of these guys. And it's not a good time. Alright, this is like way too much gem matching going on. What the hell? I haven't even casted Mang yet. Like, there's all this potential. Like, I could have blasted off Sekma right there, but I just wanted to, you know, actually get my attack damage going first. Please and thank you. Let's get the barrier first. There's really no match there, wow. Oh, whatever. Die. And not recommended to Divinia cast. Why would I do it? So I'm a madman, that's why. For folks that are watching on Mixer, since I see we've got one, we've got unified chat up in this, so anything you say will pop up in chat for all to see. So you don't have to feel like you're missing out on the party. Everyone on every platform can all talk to each other at once. It's amazing. I finally got all that working again. Definitely think that's going to be my style. Pretty sure I'm going to choose to stream on all platforms regardless, and just not sign any kind of a like Twitch partner program thing which would lock me in on something. I just like talking to all of you all the time. I just got super nervous. I was like, did I get barrier before that bullet did something? Hooray. Let's just shake it up. And use Sekma. I have enough damage to just kill that guy, so let's poke somebody else. Work on the barrier. Kind of have like reflect and barrier going. Whatever. I'm feeling super reckless. Wildly reckless. Inadvisable explosions. Lots of blue, but not quite enough. I'll just zap the doom. It's a lame move. Dead that person. Still no barriers. No loops either. Sad me. Not doing that. Still no? Alright, there we go. Hooray. Hey Goober, how's it going, man? Welcome to the often not seen Wednesday stream. Clearly lost track of time. For folks that are wondering, I've actually got a spreadsheet up on my other monitor. I'm not just like magically knowing where everything sits. Our guild actually uses Google Sheets to be tracking like where everything is. Which I strongly recommend everybody does if you are in a guild that does not track your stuff in some capacity. Absolutely required. How does that work out for you guys, honestly, like a Discord channel? Is it like nobody talks in that channel except to post that kind of stuff or something like that? I feel like that would be really hard to follow. But maybe it's like super organized and I'm just not giving you guys enough credit. Just feels like it would be hard to do, I think. I'm so tempted to cast this, but I really would rather have a barrier up first. Alright, that makes a lot more sense. Hey, what's up, WoW? I'm just doing Divinia. Don't care. Just want to cast it. Sometimes you just gotta cast, you know? It just feels good. I hate how much I'm thinking right now. I really don't want to. I feel oddly compelled when I'm streaming to, like, make appropriate moves. Probably should have saved that until after they cast Taipan, but that's fine. Bam. I don't even have to worry about it. Hooray for me. Oh yeah, second time. Bap. Yeah, Mixer Love. I missed that comment altogether. What's up, Wire? We appreciate you wherever you're coming from. I still have to like jump into Mixer and understand the whole ecosystem over there. There's like a lot of weird stuff. Like I think they have like streamer incentives, like there's like shards over there that I need to sort out. Like I want to make sure that if I'm actually streaming on Mixer, I'm actually using like the bells and whistles that come with it. I just haven't like really glanced into exactly how all that works. I've just been accumulating all of these like mystery currencies that I don't know what they do or how to use them, kind of thing. But if they make things cooler for my Mixer friends, you bet your ass I'm gonna do it. I'm feeling greedy. I want to take another bite out of crime over here. I'm on Twitch, so it's like if you jump over to Twitch now, you can watch me stream over there if you want. What I've noticed is that the latency on Twitch is the most consistent. Like if the YouTube stream that you're watching is ever like seeming off to you for some reason, you could always jump over to Twitch and just watch over there. Same exact content, you know, it's literally same overlay, same game, same everything, just you know, different interface. But it's still 100% key lime stream going on over there. It's kind of just like I want to stream wherever people feel like watching, kind of thing. Like if someone really prefers watching everything on Twitch, I'd want to be there. If people would rather watch me on YouTube because they're subscribed to me over there, then, you know, that works for me too. That's my favorite, when they just spawn somebody and then you immediately kill them right away like that. Nothing makes me happier than that. Like when you're doing a pet rescue, I used to use a pet rescue team that would use the Doomblade weapon, and like Infernal King is one of those kinds of fights, and you know, sometimes when you kill Infernal King he spawns back up there. So like I would kill him with the Doomblade AoE damage, and then the skulls would end up killing the guy who just spawned up top. Like, it's my favorite. I just imagine that he's all like pumped about himself. He's like, I'm back, baby! And then he just gets immediately zapped. Why you gotta hurt me like that? Hey, what's up, Fidel? That name is amazing. What the hell? Oh man, you're the best. Got plenty of that. Bam. Well, that was a fun turn. What? Oh, yeah, we got Sekma again. Sekma won't kill her though, so pop someone else. Remember when that team had people on it? I do too. I mean, that'll kill him anyway, why not? Yeah, I assume my Twitch thing is working, but admittedly I don't know. I mean, I just picked up a follower and it doesn't seem like the viewer count thing updated. Let me see if I can refresh that thing real quick. Maybe my viewers are wildly different than it says it is. Yeah, there we go. Now we got everybody in there. So for the folk, for Fidel that's over there on Twitch, I assume, if you chat in Twitch, I'll see it. So everyone in the chat will see it if you type it. So you don't have to feel stranded over there. One happy family. We're gonna do those haste rooms. We're doing those haste rooms. Oh, that was you, Goober? Alright. That works. You get an A+ for your sick name then, if that was you. Alright. Now we'll start stealing some. Well, that kind of took away my skull. I just effed myself. Alright, now we're in one-hit kill mode. No. No, don't take all my blues. My blues are my happy things. I can't buy it over here. What is that? I'm over here just trying to have a good time. And destroying all the mana gems that I want. Making me the saddest of men. Ta-da! I don't know, this team is just kind of fun. I can tell it's a little risky though. It's one of those things where, like, as you climb up higher and higher, those moments where you create a lot of nonsense, like, get a little dicey. That's where someone like a TPK is usually good to just, like, clear out the junk, as I call it, where you'll create, like, a mess, and then someone like TPK will just kind of just get rid of the mess for you so you don't have to worry about it. But obviously we can't use him this time. Sad key lime. I was so pumped though. I was talking to all the people on the Switch side. They just got TPK for the first time. Like, he was just released for those guys over there. And at least all the people in the Discord that they've got seem to be getting him in pretty high quantity, which is pretty nice. Because if someone missed him, like, I would feel super upset and sad. How am I missing? Oh, it's just the purple. Yeah, I'm messing around with Aquaticus teams right now. Like, I'm hell-bent on making sure that I have a Guild Wars Blue Day team that uses Aquaticus on it. Because Guild Wars Blue Day just makes me sad all the time. Like, if anyone in my guild is on, I'm sure they've seen me bitch about Guild Wars Blue Day before. Where it's just kind of like, I'm always just missing something that I want. Like, I'll try to put together teams that I really like, but I'm always just missing a little something to make it really work the way I want. I think Aquaticus was kind of the troop that I needed. Like, I needed somebody that was just, like, good damage dealer, board mixer-upper, you know, the submerging component's nice. So I've put together a couple decent teams with Aquaticus, at least, that I feel pretty good about. The thing that sucks, though, is that the blue team that I use with Aquaticus on it is not very good at life and death killing. But I have a blue team that is very good at life and death killing, so pretty much the way I'll end up playing that is, like, days where I have, you know, if there's like a fight where I have to fight life and death, I'll switch over to my life and death killing team that's blue, and then otherwise I'll use the Aquaticus team. The point potential on my Aquaticus team is higher, so, like, that's why I would want to use it. Because my other blue team is using, whatchamacallit? I was like, why isn't it not letting me click on that guy? It's using Emperor Corvash as, like, my stun guy, so, like, those tree to image shots are not helping my score. It's kind of the weird thing about Guild Wars. I wish they changed that somewhat. Like, some of those scoring things feel a little arbitrary. Like penalizing you for killing people with true damage, for instance. It's just kind of like, why does it really matter? I guess they were afraid that people would just, like, cheese out wins using, like, bad strategies and they didn't want to reward it, but I feel like the way Guild Wars is these days, it's just, like, literally a win is a win is a win. Like, trying to, you know, I can understand some of the scoring things, like the, you know, a win that takes you, like, 3 seconds versus a win that takes you, like, 10 minutes. Like, I can understand why they would want to reward the faster player, like, that stuff's fine. But some of the arbitrary rules, like, you know, if you do true damage, it's not going to help your score as much. Like, old problems that they used to have where, like, transforms would count as kills, so, like, you would just randomly get a lower score if you got transformed even though they literally did nothing to you the entire fight. Like, that kind of stuff would always drive me nuts. Unnecessary. This guy's just gonna die. Yeah, the empowered troops have definitely introduced this, like, other mechanic, which is why I ended up making that gem matching strategy video, because it's so important now to be extremely good at defensive gem matching. Like, before you could kind of just get away with, you know, doing your own thing, like running your own strategy, like using your own teams, and, like, you didn't really have to worry so much about what they were doing. These days you need to be insanely concerned about what they're doing. Like, if you are not actively ready for them to potentially just flip up the board on you like that, you are not going to be a happy person. So defensive gem matching is probably now becoming a much higher priority in terms of, like, skill. So that's why I ended up making that video. I don't know if it 100% covered everything everyone would ever need to know, but I think it did at least a good enough job to introduce the concepts that people will maybe start to think about it a little bit differently than they used to, potentially. because that was something that would always really upset me when people would end up using teams that I would make for them, for instance, where they'd say, like, you know, you talked about how you went 5-0 with this team like many weeks in a row, but I can't seem to figure out how to get the team to work. Like, some of the teams I make, admittedly, like, do require some weird mechanics. Like, they're not very straightforward in how you play them, but others are fairly straightforward. And the ones that are straightforward, it's kind of like you more than likely lost just because you probably weren't thinking about the you know, the gem matching strategy, like matching gems defensively. So I hope people take like more note of that kind of a guide. It's kind of a weird guide to make. I don't even know if I really got the point across in the way that I totally wanted, but just introducing that concept hopefully helps some people. Oh yeah, I have a wheel that I'm supposed to spin. You guys are always so nice. You never mention the wheel at all. I convinced myself when I first started using it that that would be the only reason people would tune into the stream. Now no one even talks about it. It's like I expect you to be more belligerent about it. Ill-advised. Got away with it. Sure. Sure. So, you know, this is where things get a little scarier. Can I do anything cool here? That's not a good idea. That's not a good idea. That's not a good idea. No, I'm gonna take something as a result of all that, unless I just pop the board and I'd still take that. I've got a barrier. Talking too much. Just for kicks. Let's grab that for the barrier. Don't really care if they're trying to beef themselves up. But speaking of empower converters, hopefully you guys actually grabbed the new troop that was out there. Like the, what is their name? Llama something something? Lamashtu. Since she's another empowered converter, that's definitely going to be important. The fact that she's a daemon means that Glaceon now has a really good setup. That was the most, like, immediate thing that jumped to my mind, is that with her existing now, Glaceon has a purple mana setup, like, right away. I believe there's actually another daemon class that's getting released in the not-too-distant future. If I recall, it wasn't amazing, but it wasn't awful. Because Sorcerer, as it stands right now, is really not worth playing around with, so if someone was looking to, you know, make use of the new troop with Glaceon, like, it seems like there's going to be an option out there. The only problem with the two of them is that they don't share any mana, so like you couldn't use them on Guild Wars, for instance, but you certainly could use them in PvP grinding and stuff like that. I'm just going to take that damage. Bam. And do an ill-advised Divinia? Nah, who cares? Take the barrier. Don't you dare deathmark me. What? Alright, all those problems gone. Don't think that's gonna do it. Ta-da! Yeah, that's like, honestly, that's probably where I think I'm adding the most value to the community these days, more than anything. Like, my video content is obviously hopefully useful for as many people as possible, but I find that when I go to Reddit, people on Reddit are like just starting the game, and like they kind of have no idea what's going on. They're just looking for any kind of guidance. They don't know what's going, like they don't know what to do, they don't know where to go do it, they don't know what's good. they need help with basic team building. Like, I guess it's kind of people aren't naturally jumping to YouTube yet to like try and find Tacit's or my content or anybody else's for that instance. It seems like some people still like jump to Reddit or just like traditional forms of, you know, like forums maybe. But I help people there a lot, like just really basic stuff, just constantly. So I mean, I think those are the people that I'm helping the most because like when you do first start the game, especially now. Even though they're adding a lot of quality of life stuff, I don't know if the game's any easier to understand or get into. Like, it still feels extremely overwhelming. Like, I remember when I first started playing, it took me, like, a long time to understand everything. Like, I don't even know if I could even confidently say that I knew everything, like, after even 8 months of playing. I appreciate that, Corn. I try and help them as much as I can. I feel bad sometimes because like every now and then I'll see someone giving advice that I really don't agree with. But I mean, it's kind of like if someone's stating like an opinion on something, I'm extremely less likely to like weigh in and say anything about that. Like some guy was talking about how he preferred Plague Lord class over Titan, for instance, and I was just kind of like, well, you know, Titan is kind of universally accepted, and I agree with the fact that Titan is the best overall class, but I mean, you know, if you're enjoying playing Plague Lord and you think it's better and it's working for you, then, you know, who am I to say no? Because anyone that watches my stuff knows I pimp the hell out of some Dragon, or not Dragon Guard, holy crap, Sunspear, and Sunspear is not a class that you're going to see tons of people talk about, at least not in the way that I do. So, who am I to tell somebody that their preferred class is not correct? What team are we looking at over here? Is this my team? Is that the team you just posted? Let's see what team this is. This is like Christmas right now. Let's jump down to here and just overwrite some other random team that I got. What is this team? Three Sisters weapon. That's interesting. Deep King. Oh, is this a Blue Day Guild Wars team that you're talking about over here? Is that what this is that I'm glancing at? That's the only reason I could imagine you're putting all this together. Elemental. This is an interesting team. Yeah, I'd be curious what you use this team for. I mean, it's got Gob Truffle on it, so obviously it's not terrible. Because just Gob Truffle is that, you know, flavor of the month kind of troop these days. Just random blues in general. Yeah, that Three Sisters weapon's one that I'm not super fond of, admittedly. Like, it's unfortunate because the Tide Color class is kind of cool. I've noticed, like, for the most part, like, class weapons are not nearly as awesome as I think they could or should be. Like, when I look at the Sunspear class weapon, for instance, it's kind of like, pretty much will never use that, ever. So it's just kind of, like, unfortunate. I'm not entirely sure why certain weapons look the way they do. Like, I don't know if when they make them, if they think, like, this is amazing, or if they just go, like, I mean, whatever, it's another weapon. Like, they don't all have to be the same power level. People want to use it, that's great. Or if, like, when they made it, they're like, no, this has a very specific purpose and it's going to be amazing. Like, I never fully know, like, what they're thinking with some of that stuff. I would kind of love to be in the room when they're coming up with some of these things. For the most part, they still make, like, very interesting, compelling stuff. Like, some of the weapons that are coming up are actually disgusting. I was looking through Terran's World and I was just kind of gawking at the stuff that's going to be coming up later. Getting all excited. I don't quite have anything that I really need right now. I'll just get a barrier just for safety. There we go. Start blowing people up. No. I mean, whatever. That looks so scary. There's so much bad stuff going on right there. Whatever. Sekma. You just start coming into the chat, just blasting teams and everything else. No, it's I really think that is what makes Gems of War like so good, honestly. It's just one of those things where the fact that they're constantly releasing new troops, new classes, even new like underworld things, still adjusting events, like that's where all the fun comes, because it's just introducing like new ways to use all the cool toys that we get. Like it's super easy to just like be very jaded and just say like none of this makes sense and it's crap. Like it's very easy to take that stance because it's like for an endgame player they just only care about the endgame and that's all they think about or care about. Obviously the devs need to think about a little more than just that. I still think they could maybe do a little bit better on some of the balancing stuff. Like I'd love to see them take a more aggressive stance on like releasing cooler stuff, but as far as like troops that are more wild and dangerous. But I think on the whole, like it's still really good. Like the fact that this game gets updated at all is kind of a godsend. Like when I first started playing it, I had no indication that this game had any kind of legs on it still. I just knew I liked it. I wasn't really expecting it to exist forever. I see this 4 match, but I want to take the skull anyway. So much reflect, my god. Still no Sekma goodness, huh? I mean, I'll just zap another troop, why not? I'm kinda tempted to just cast Sekma anyway. I'm just in that kind of a mood. Just wanna do it. Just wanna send it. It's like, relax, dude. Yeah, and the game's monetization is not stupid. Like, and as somebody that's spent a ton of money in this game, like, it was not because I had to. It was not because, like, it wasn't anything to, like, keep playing the game. It's just because I'm impatient as hell. And when I joined a guild that, like, admittedly I was not even qualified to join, like, the guild that I'm in now, I was very fortunate when I jumped in. Like, I was, definitely not at the recommended recs for that guild yet, but they were low on space, so I kind of snuck in, and you know, I felt insanely compelled to, you know, do as much as I possibly could and contribute as much as I possibly could. I was spending money before I even joined the guild, but like once I joined that guild, that's what put me into overdrive. Like I just knew that I had to, or I didn't know I had to, I just wanted to contribute a bunch. Like I just hated being that guy that was like level, I don't even know, Christ, it was so bad. Like I was level 300 or something like that, and everybody else in the guild was like at least 1,000. Just wanted to prove myself. Yeah, I mean, at least from what Salty said, the game's only been going up since the release, so I mean, that's insanely good news that they don't have any reason to like stop making content. Which just means I've got a future in this game. And you guys have to put up with me and my content for more and more months and years. Yeah, that's kind of the other thing. Like, if I was somebody that just cared about, you know, jumping into the absolute best of the best, like, I think my guild is the, like, between all of our family of guilds, I think we are, like, the best of the best, but when it comes to Guild Wars, that's the one time where, like, our fragmentation kind of pops up a little bit, where we have a guild that's dedicated to Guild Wars specifically, but then we have another guild that's dedicated to just kind of doing everything well. So there's a mix of Guild Wars players between those two guilds that if we had ever done anything to try and mash them together in a way that made everybody happy, like, I think we would be bracket 1 without even blinking, honestly. But it's kind of like everyone's happy where they are. We don't want to make everyone all pissed off and crazy, so it's just like, you know, there's no reason to really blow it up right now. So I mean, that's like me choosing, like, you know, my guild family as a family is more important than just saying like, you know, screw everybody else. Let's just try and make the best guild we possibly can as far as like Guild Wars. I don't know. That's like one of the few games I can say that I've taken that stance on. Like when I played World of Warcraft, all I cared about was being the best. And I would make sure that I was in whatever the best guild was, and I would always make sure I was doing everything the best I possibly could. Like everything was best when it came to that game. When it comes to this game, like being like as close to the best as you possibly can without causing any kind of like angst or issues, like it's perfect as far as I can tell. Everybody in the guild is super nice, so I mean, it's one of the big reasons why it's very easy and motivating to still play the game. There's just like a fun group of people to hang out with and chat with. Yeah, Guild Wars is super stressful in that way. Like, it's definitely the only event where people start to get, like, emotionally upset. Like, even in our guilds, because it's kind of like, you know, everyone in the guild can see, like, what you're doing, and, like, if you just lose, like, a Doom or something like that, like, who cares? Like, you know, it's not that big of a deal. But if you lose a Guild Wars fight, it's just, like, stained on your record forever. Everybody in the guild sees it, and you feel like you let them down, and... It's easily the time that everyone's like talking about board RNG and like RNG in general and crappy starting boards. Like, you know, every reason we have to be upset at the game kind of like flies out right during that time frame. I mean, the proposed change that I had for Guild Wars I thought was very sensible, where it like doesn't really change anything. Basically, like my proposal is since Guild Wars is a mode where you know, one team is at an advantage and the other is at a disadvantage. So, like, defenses are normally at a disadvantage because, you know, the AI is controlling it. So, like, you know, you don't have a human player that's playing the team exactly the way the person necessarily wants it to. So, like, that puts them at a disadvantage. They go second, which also puts them at a disadvantage. But Guild Wars balances that a little bit because they have free reign to make any team and we're forced to do specific teams. So, and maybe that's, like, the balancing factor. But then board RNG is kind of the other thing. Like, what I don't think should ever happen is that there's a board where it looks like, you know, it's Blue Day, for instance, and there's literally no blue on the board, or like, you know, 2 or 3 blue gems total. It's not that it's impossible to win that game, but it's like, it just became so much harder and like that much more complicated to win just because the board looked a certain way. Like, it had nothing to do with the team you were using, it had nothing to do with anything else. It was just... the board looked a certain way and you might lose just because of it. I don't think that's really a great way to balance things out. Like, even if you're the best defensive gem matcher, like if you follow all the advice in my guide and you're just extremely aware and you know how to abuse the AI in the right ways to get the results that you're looking for, even if you can do all of that, sometimes you can just lose anyway because teams these days are built to loop forever. So like, if a team can loop forever, if you just give them one chance to start, that's all it takes. And that's what I think needs to change. Like, just with that one change to board RNG, I think the game would be so much more compelling when it comes to Guild Wars. Did that risk work? No. No, it did not. Just take more damage then, see what they do. I mean, it's kind of like, the other nice thing about guilds though is like, if you're in a good enough guild, like you'll catch back up really quick. Like, even if you've been out of the game for a long time, like just by being in a guild that completes a lot of stuff, like you'll get tons of resources, you'll get tons of legendary tasks, like you'll get all the orbs you could possibly want. So like you can just convert all that stuff into more troops. So I mean, it probably won't take you as long to catch up as it might feel. But I mean, just having to relearn what all the troops do and all the new mechanics and the meta stuff and all that jazz, like, I imagine that part's probably the more frustrating thing. You guys still aren't yelling at me to spin the wheel. Beautiful people. When you say more channels, what do you mean? Like, would you want me to make content that's like explicitly for people that are like endgame players kind of stuff? Or when you say channels, do you just mean like something else entirely? I'm just curious if there's like a set of videos you would prefer I start making. Because I'm definitely not opposed to making like more advanced player content. The one thing that I wish I could do that I am hesitant to even try is a Guild Wars like recording, like record what I do during Guild Wars, just because I want to focus so much on just making sure that I win that I don't want to be influenced by like knowing that I'm like recording this, that I have to like play a certain way or do certain things. Like if it doesn't look clean, I don't want to have to worry about like, oh, that's not good content, or I don't want people to think I suck. Like I kind of just want to win. So like I'm super afraid to make Guild Wars specific content. Like as far as like me actually showing you guys and playing out my fights. Maybe I just need to man up and do it anyway. I can understand that. Like honestly, like the straight truth is that the only time that endgame players are gonna sweat over anything is Guild Wars. That's like that's literally the only time that endgame players are gonna seriously worry about what's going on. Because like if I lose this fight right now, like I don't care. Like it's not a big deal. I'm just gonna play it again and win. Like there's no real penalty for me losing it. Is Quillen a good thing to replace Sekma? Quillen would certainly not be bad. What is the reason that I have Sekma over Quillen? I think it was just I'd be triple mana blocked at that point, even though I'd probably put Quillen there and Divinia there. I'm just somebody that's like insanely overly cautious about making sure that I have cleanse at the ready like all the time. So like that leads me to do things like putting Divinia higher up there just because I want to make sure if I need a cleanse I can use it. Because nothing makes me sadder than like just losing to something stupid. Like if I get death marked and all of a sudden I lose, like that's like one of the more frustrating things that can happen as far as I'm concerned. So I think it was purely just the mana blocking aspect is why I've got Quillen in there instead. Or Divinia in there instead. Well, that worked out way better than I expected. I mean, if the team's working, why not? It sounds wild. Kinda don't wanna do this. I think I'd take a brown for the barrier just to be safer. It's a little lamer, but I think I'd rather be safer. There was too much nonsense going on there. Didn't want to be on the receiving end of it. Poor Gimlet's just sitting in the wings. I'm gonna use Gimlet to set up Sekma, actually. Because, like, by creating more browns with Gimlet, then it makes casting Sekma even easier to do from there. Getting a phone call, that's very odd. Apologies, I'm gonna take this super quick. Sorry, chat. Yep, mic's still muted. Thank you. Thank you kindly, sir. Just gotta kill Fizzbang. She's the only scary person on that whole team. She can just enable some dumb looping that I don't want to see. Here you go. She gone. You would think there was a Skullfall based on all that nonsense. That should be plenty. There's not any sadness going on in chat right now, is there? We all love each other, guys. Hopefully nothing too bad. Everybody's cool in this chat. Kinda want to not die. Hooray! No death for me. Bam. Almost death for me, but no death. You know, it's kind of an embarrassing fact that I'll admit to you guys, since you're all my best friends here. I totally did not know that 4 matches could not mana surge until like maybe 3 weeks ago or so. I had no idea that was a thing, that they could never mana surge. So that's a fun fact. If you didn't know that, you're welcome. But I totally didn't know that. So 4 matches can never mana surge, 3 matches and 5 and anything else can, but 4s can't. Apparently it's a balancing issue of some kind. I admittedly don't fully get it, why that would be a balancing concern, but just so you know, there's no such thing as mana surging on 4 matches. Yeah, it's a very odd thing. Like, I have a feeling that that was probably something that made sense when they implemented it, that doesn't make sense when they don't. So it's like, I mean, I get the idea that 4 matches are more common than a 5 match, but like a 3 match is more common than a 4 match. So I guess it's like, I'm still not even totally sure I get it. Because like in this game, honestly, like I probably get 5 matches and 10 matches and all those kinds of matches more often than I get like 4 matches. Because you're just constantly creating mana so hard in this game. Like, creating just a little bit of mana almost seems to never happen. You always end up creating like a shit ton or you have none. So like I get how surges are useful for 3 matches in that scenario, because you kind of want to give somebody a like recovery mechanic, like just because you're getting screwed with the board as far as getting the matches that you want, it gives you an opportunity to try and get more. I get that, but like the fact that it can't surge at all just feels kind of weird. Because someone made a comment on Reddit, which actually like made me go like, wait, what? And admittedly on Reddit I acted like, I didn't acknowledge that I didn't know it until they said it, but like, they made a comment that was like, what would you do in this scenario? And they were referencing like, you know, the fact that, do you take this mana gem because it has a chance to surge, or do you take that thing in hopes that it, you get mana with an extra turn? And I was just looking at it like, what the hell are they talking about? And then I read over on the, you know, their official Zendesk posting thing, and I was just like, well, holy crap. I had no idea. So I clearly still have things I need to learn. I mean, it's kind of like they're just good in, I mean, that's just kind of good in general. Like, even without me knowing anything about that surging thing, like, one argument that I've actually seen people say counter to, like, Lightning Strike being a good talent is that they'll say, you know, it'll mess up a 4-match sometimes when you can make a 4-match, and therefore it's bad. And, like, just by playing, like, if you ever use a class that has Lightning Strike on it, like, you'll just know that you get set up for so many more 4-matches than you lose by using it. Like, yes, you do lose them sometimes, but, like, the vast majority of the time you will be gaining way more 4-matches as a result of doing that than you'll ever lose. So it's kind of like, it's not the best argument as far as I'm concerned. Like, it kind of just feels like somebody feels that way because they've, like, lost a 4-match that they saw and it made them upset, and then they've just decided it's bad as a result, and it's kind of like that's not really the case. Casting Sekma right now would be all kinds of scary and dangerous. I like it. No. No to that still. I'm trying to see if there's a fancier way I can match skulls, but there's really not. Taking that one or this one doesn't really do anything. Unless the mana falls in the most, like, bonkers way ever. Sure. Sure. Well, that just went from super high stakes to no stakes whatsoever. See, if I was being smart right now, I wouldn't be impatient and pop Divinia right here. Yeah, I upgraded my Mang all the way. I don't really care about the fact that it makes an extra mana gem, personally. I can understand why people wouldn't want that, but I'm fine with it. Because Mang isn't a weapon that has any loot potential anyway. So it's kind of like, yes, sometimes it can backfire, like, but, you know, it's kind of, to me, it's inconsequential. Let me see what Mang even does at the higher end of it. I honestly forget what Mang's even doing in the higher tiers, but like you said, I just kind of maxed it by default. I mean, gaining armor, life, and attack, like, this is okay, but admittedly you're not really casting Mang more than twice anyway, so those are kind of modest stat bumps. So I could totally see a justification for just leaving it there. But, I mean, it's fine. I don't think I've ever really lost as a result of using Mang because it created a gem. I'll see you, Goober. Appreciate you hopping in. Yeah, I just don't think it's, like... I'm not too scared by it, personally, so I think it's fine. But the fact that it does make sense to not level it, I could also see that. That's like, I'm pretty sure that this is true, but I don't know 100%. I feel like there was a period of time where people were disenchanting all of their copies of Bandit, so that way they could get a fresh Bandit without traits. I don't even know if that's true, if it will not have its traits if you disenchant all the ones you have. But they were doing it basically so that way, whenever you try and cast... if you have like a stealthy class and it starts summoning bandits, your hero stays stealthy in that scenario, which is like such a dirty thing to do. But there was definitely a period of time where I was fighting a bunch of, you know, suddenly not stealthy bandits, which is actually better than stealthy bandits, honestly. So like, if you're just starting the game, that's like a weird pro tip I could give you, like, don't trait your bandit. Or don't get its like stealthy trait. Because if you ever run a class that summons bandits, you will super enjoy the fact that they're not stealthy, because it just keeps your hero under the cover. I'll see you, Mouse. Thanks for jumping on, dude. Popping it for no fun. Yeah. Still nothing? Just pop Divinia again? For no reason? Sure. That's just me keeping the game fun for myself. Am I on floor 25 right now? Did I really get that far already? Still haven't lost? It's kind of fun. It's not totally unexpected, but it's interesting. Yeah, I feel like Reflect happens like more than I ever remember anything ever happening. Honestly, like it feels like I get Reflect constantly. It's kind of insane. I'm just gonna keep that wheel alive. You guys deserve a code at this point. I don't know how long I've been streaming for, but it just kind of feels like you deserve one. I love how I could just give you guys a code, but I want the wheel to give it to you. It just feels better that way. So this is officially the last Doom room that will give me a Fireforge scroll. So for folks that don't know or didn't watch the guide that I posted out there, once you get up to 25, the last Doom in here, he'll give me a Forge scroll, but every Doom after that will not. So it's kind of like you're just doing it for the extra rewards at that point, or leaderboard chasing. Yeah, baby! Yeah, code. Just gotta force it. That's what I'm talking about. Just give you guys some of that good stuff. Bam. It's for all my beautiful people out there. I love how it spams the code super hardcore because I'm pasting it in like 75 places at once. Now that I realize what level I'm on, I'm just being a little more careful about my gem matching. The fact that I haven't died yet and I haven't really been paying attention to it is kind of insane. Sneaky 4 match, let's go! Of course, Gord. Alright, now we're at 1,000 damage, just straight murder mode. Let's see what we got. There's nothing there if I do Sekma. It just looks crazy. I'll just do that in case I lose somebody. Alright, we're doing it. I don't care. Oh! Oh! So much damage! You're welcome, James. So that was officially the last Doom that we're getting rewards for. So now we're just doing it for kicks. See, this is where you get into this weird, like, scroll efficiency situation. So, it's kind of like, you know, you would want to be dodging power scrolls at this point because you're just like, I mean, they're helpful for your guild, but I know my guild's going to make it regardless. So at this point, if you're just trying to get as high of a thing as you possibly can, you would want to dodge power scrolls. Some guilds dodge power scrolls altogether, which I admittedly think I'm starting to agree with more. But at this point, now that I'm just straight chasing score, and everybody in the guild is pretty much everywhere they need to be, like we're about to complete the event, so there's no real reason to be getting power scrolls, despite me seeing one there on this floor that I could get. Is there... There's gotta be. Yeah, I was like, there's gotta be a Sekma cast in here somewhere. So fun! Should have taken the skull. Oh darn. Don't summon people. Who summons people? With Gimlet alone, I got this guy up to over 100 health. I only cast a video for the first time just then. It's pretty funny. Super ill-advised that I just did that. Is there Sekma goodness anywhere? No. Gimlet goodness, though. Oh, yeah. Now Sekma goodness? Yep. That's what I'm talking about. And I'll spin the wheel again. I don't even care. Don't even care. I think I can max my Doom crossbow now. I have to double check, but I'm pretty sure my Doom crossbow isn't 10 yet. So I'll definitely be doing that. Blast the Carnax. Get more mana. I feel like just blindly casting Sekma. Yeah, I was like, I feel like there's gotta be some Sekma goodness up there. So much gem madness. I am enraged. Bam! No. Yep. Bam, bam. Of course, Goober. Happy to give them out, honestly. Promise you I get just as happy being able to give them as you guys do receiving them. Oh, you dumb Doom. Why would you do that to yourself? You got yourself killed! For no reason! You silly Doom. So, like, you saw the Doom guy gave me a magic scroll. Floor 27. You still got... That's weird. This rare room isn't officially discovered yet. Alright, I'll help the guild out. I'll just blow a scroll for fun. What's in there? An attack scroll. I got you, guild. I'll tell you what's in there. Okay. Let's beat this thing up. It also makes me happy to see that the team that I told everybody would be good to use is actually good to use. When I post the video on Monday morning, I actually will have not used the team that I tell everybody else makes a lot of sense to use. So there's kind of always that risk that I'll tell everyone to use a team that's like not nearly as good as I imagined it would be. So it's kind of nice to see that I was able to just like fly my way up to 25 without any issues. I would probably change this team if I was going super, super deep. Like, it's a little risky once you get, like, way, way up there. Like, if I was leaderboard chasing, I would probably change this a little bit towards the end. But admittedly, it's really just going to come down to, like, playstyle. If I played this a little more conservatively, I wouldn't really have any issues anyway. Like, would I pop this Divinia if I was taking it seriously? No. No, I would not. Yeah, now there's a Sekma cast. Oh, I should have hit the top guy. Boo. Terrible gems player. More spinning. I mean, that seems easy enough. I'll save my fireball scrolls for later on after I get even more sigils. There's kind of no reason to blow them right now. Oh, you left me a gimlet. You're so nice. I'm just gonna eat a skull for funsies. Ooh, that wheel. Can't do anything cool. Ill-advised Divinia cast, go! Oh, I totally missed that. Oh, I deserve to die. I totally deserved to die just then. Sekma's alive, but there's nothing... Oh, there is! This is stupid, but we're doing it! Wanna bring you down? Oh, really? I guess I thought I had barrier and I absolutely did not. Alright, here we go. Let's scrap out this win. We got this, Corn, don't you worry. I mean, I'm about to eat something really nasty. Oh, wait. Maybe, maybe not. Can I do some Sekma madness to make this work? No. 210 is gonna leave me with 5 health. We got this. We will not go quietly. I don't want to take this, but I must. My poor person. Oh no, now I'm totally susceptible to this. Alright, let's get Gimlet in Enrage mode. Totally got a 5 match with this. 4 match there. No other weird matches, I believe. More damage. That's nice of you. That's nice of you. How this bird has not ran away yet is beyond me, considering I have nothing but yellow mana on the board. Ooh, 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 ooh. That'll look terrible. Alright. Almost. Almost there. We're so flippin' close. Kind of really want to get Sekma up, because I feel like she's gonna die, so I want to get a value cast out before she dies. This is a bad idea. Right? Yeah. That's a bad idea. Oh, I'm barrier though. Huh. I think I do this. That was a pretty good idea until they got that lucky fall. So I really want some purples. Stop hurting me, dude. Stop it. This is suicide if I cast her, because it's definitely not looping. But I think I'm okay. Alright, we're trying it. We gotta make moves. Now is not the time to play safe. Arbitrary Gimlet cast. Give him more life. Ow! You ass! That sucked. No. No! No! Oh, that makes life harder. Am I gonna die anyway? Yeah. Ah. Boo. Boo on that. Wheel spin. We were so close. You know what you get for that? You get a fireball. Just gonna burn you for wasting my last sigil. That's alright. That would have been epic if I won, though. That's really what matters. Dun-dun-dun. Wheel of Destiny says a hard no. Well, I'm probably going to end the stream relatively soon, so if anybody has any rando questions, video requests, love they feel like sharing, now would be the time. Otherwise, I'm gonna try and spam my wheel to get you guys a code and then send you all on your way. I like forgot what team I was using for a second just now. I was like, what color gems do I care about? Like when you're in that event mode, your brain is just like brown, brown, brown. Dun, dun. But thank you guys all for tuning in randomly for my Wednesday stream. I know this is off time as far as when I normally like to be streaming, but did not want to just not stream, so figured why not. We still had a good time. Almost. Almost. That's what I'll do. I'll end this stream when I get you guys another code. Once I land on another one, that'll be stream time. Or code time, end of stream time. Yeah, I'd say the thing I'm most excited for is the new mythic that comes out after the one that we just got. There's a new dude named the Grey King. He's gonna be sick. He's the type of troop that if the AI actually knew how to play the game, like, would be the most dangerous Guild Wars person that could ever exist. Like, picture Undyne, but like for any color and way better. Like, that's gonna be what the new Grey King is all about. Like, he does more stuff than Undyne, he does it to any color you want, and it's gonna be next level stuff, honestly, I think. I'm super excited. Yeah, it's the undead guy. Also, that's gonna make it's gonna make me take another gander at some of the undead type troops that are out there, because I know there's a mixed weapon for undead that I've like put teams together with, but I don't really love because undead are usually not that good. But if that guy's in the game, that's a different story. Like, that's gonna make me really want to use him. He's gonna be nasty. So I mean, I would hard recommend that people start saving their resources now. Like, try and not blow resources, because that mythic's gonna be bananas. As far as like resources for troops, like, that's where PvP grinding is actually really useful, like dual purpose, I would say, because when you're PvP grinding, you're going to get lots of glory and lots of gold, and you can basically turn that gold into kingdom levels, and then you can turn the glory into troops. Here's the code. So like, that's honestly how I got my troop stash like as high as I could, like as quickly as I could, was like I was just PvP grinding so hard, and then just turning all those glory into troops. Like, a lot of people seem to latch on to like very niche kind of teams. Like, people will be told, use Rowain, and just like, you know, he's the best team ever, and you can use it to spam stuff. Like, yes, you can. That's absolutely true, but like, it's not fun to use the same team forever. And it doesn't really give you any goals to shoot for. Like, when you get a new troop, like, that gives you goals all of a sudden. Like, you have new teams that you need to design to try and use it. You have trait stones you need to go farm. You've got souls you need to use. Like, it gives you goals, like mini goals as you're going through. And I think like that's an unknown, like, or like an unspoken like push-pull mechanic that the game has that like people probably don't think about too much. Like, if you're just using the same team all the time, like if I was just using the key spam team for literally everything, like, this game's gonna be stupid and boring. Like, I wouldn't really care to play it, because it's like I just know to use the key spam team all the time. So it's kind of nice that there's not like a team that you can use for every single situation, because then I think the game would just be super boring. Goober, there you go. I just got you in super hard with those people. Tell them to sub to the channel and all that stuff, just like pimp my wares for me. Yeah, I think every guild should have a redeem code channel. Like, every guild should have a channel where they basically tell everyone whenever like Tacit releases a code or Salty releases a code, and they just share it with their guild. I feel like everyone should have that. Yeah, I use PvP all the time. Like, even really early on, like, I was PvPing constantly, because it was just like I wanted to know what other people were using, what was working, how to like combat different strategies. Like, I feel like I attribute a lot of that to how much PvPing I did. Like, I just learned a lot of things by doing that. like what the meta was, how to combat the meta, how to build teams with new troops, like especially when you're early on and you're scrapping, like you don't really have a bunch, so like you're trying to make very effective teams with very little amounts of stuff. I think that's like a very valuable learning experience, because like as much as I will help everybody out, of course, with team building, and like I like to share my team builds and all that fun stuff, if you're able to do it yourself, you know, that's kind of like, then you don't really need a keylime. Like keylime just kind of becomes a secondary resource, like, well, let me see what he's using, even though I could build it myself. Like, I imagine most people are that way, like they have a general sense of what they should be using, but I think like my goal is to get everybody so good that they don't need my channel anymore. It's kind of like I'll teach my way out of a job. I appreciate it, Goobs. You're the man. And I imagine like a lot of endgame players don't really watch my content anyway, because it's kind of like, if you've been playing this game for a long time, like you're probably in a guild that talks about what's coming up, like what to build, what not to build. Like you're probably already talking about a lot of that kind of stuff anyway, so like you wouldn't need some random YouTube dude to tell you. But I mean, there's so many people that play this game that have no interest in like that super endgame content, like aren't trying to chase like bracket 1 and guild wars. They're not trying to get to the top of the leaderboards, like they're just trying to play the game and have fun. So I mean, I think that's always going to be like my core audience, because like the super hardcore players like probably don't really care to learn anything anymore at that point. Like I always pretend that red mana is just better. Like, even though the key can take, or the egg thief can take either or, for some reason, I always match red when I get the opportunity to. That might just be like Sun Spear reflexes or something. Alright guys, last fight of the night. Get that gem key and peace on out of here. I did. I had a very hard time getting the new mythic. Yeah, I blew a ton of resources, and then it was VIP keys that I ultimately needed to lean on to actually get it. So I spent 18,000 guild seals. I spent 4,000 glory keys. I spent 1,000 gem keys. I spent 100,000 glory, and I got nothing. And then when I opened up 10 VIP keys, I got nothing. And then the next 10 VIP keys I opened, I actually got 2. So I got 2 Aquaticuses after all of that. So yeah, sometimes you get super boned. I got super boned this time around. So if you notice that my chest pool is, you know, looking a lot bleaker than it used to, that's the reason why. But that is going to be all for the stream this time around. As always, I love all of you guys super much. Stay tuned for more video content. I'll get you guys a new video probably tomorrow, certainly by Friday. More streams, more videos, all that good stuff. But thank you guys, as always, for tuning in. I'll see you next time. Mwah.